questions. So without further ado, we're just going to jump right into it with a set of questions which I'll be throwing to the various speakers. Today's topic is about attracting customers easily with social media. In today's world, I believe each and everyone on this call right now is definitely on social media one way or the other, whether Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. We find ourselves on social media all the time. But then again, we ask ourselves, what are we using social media for? Is it helping us? Is it not helping us? How are we using it to improve ourselves, our skills, and our businesses as well? Today, the focus is going to be mainly on how social media you can use social media to boost your business or attract more customers. And we have all these business smart people who have been in the social media space. Some of them run businesses, some are influencers, so they have in-depth knowledge on this particular topic. So we are going to begin with asking what platforms are they currently using and why they are using them. Essentially, just trying to understand why they are choosing their various choices of social media and how they align it with their audiences, especially with business. So the first question will go to Carrington, if you could help us with your response.
Thank you very much, Ian. So platforms I'm currently using would be Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and TikTok. And I'll tell you why for each of them. So for Facebook, it's usually curated. The reason why I like Facebook is because of its community building interface. You know, when you follow pages like Church or Diaries, I'm sure you've heard of some pages like that. There's this strong sense of community on Facebook. So it largely depends, and I'm sure we might get into that with the subsequent questions, but it largely depends on what your goal and focus is for your business on social media. And based off of that will determine where you throw your weight and on which platform you throw your weight. So for Facebook, I especially love it for its community foundation. And for Instagram, you know, it's more aesthetics. So depends if let's say you're into products, you're selling skincare products. Instagram is the best place for you. And you can even leverage TikTok to show some application processes, share some client testimonials and whatnot. So TikTok is also especially, you know, it's heavy on videos. It's literally just videos. So, and the target market is mostly Gen Zs. You know, it's just a few of our mothers who have joined TikTok recently. But then most of the time, like its customer focus is Gen Z. So it depends on what you want to use it for. That's what I'd say. Thank you.
All right, thank you much for establishing Carrington. Ehikem, can you also share your thoughts on this question?
Yes, so I am on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, but I'm most active on Instagram. I'm most active on Instagram because the interface for me is easier to use and it's easier to quote unquote blow on Instagram from my experience. And Instagram also gives you a lot of options that the other platforms don't give you. So I'm mostly using Twitter, which is X, but I'm most active with my career on Instagram. Because on Twitter, you get to see the things that are trending. You know what people are talking about, real life experiences. Then you see all that information and put it in an aesthetic manner and project onto your Instagram. And that's why I prefer Instagram over the rest.
All right, thank you very much as well. Kafui, can you share your thoughts as well?
Yeah, really quick. I actually basically agree with both Carrington and Ehikem. I'm not personally, I don't really use social media much. I'm just there lurking and learning from people. But from a client perspective, for most of my clients, like Carrington said, I choose the platforms based on what their goals are. So for example, I worked with a hospital and their main focus was generating leads and their target audience was like the executives and stuff like that. So I leveraged LinkedIn more and they got their quota of, you know, what the quota was, etc. There are some, maybe you run a hair business and stuff like that. You want to focus on Instagram because it's more visual and things like that. So I think if you want to use a platform like X, you have to be ready to talk a lot and all the time. And you have to be in tune with what's happening all the time. So yeah, my 2 cents on what you asked.
All right, thank you very much. I like the fact that you related it to a business that you're working for, so that people on the call as well can kind of like relate, depending on whatever business it is that they are running. I think the last person who I want to hear from is Entamoty to see if he can also share his thoughts on this question.
Yes, for me, for my brand, and also as in my business, and also for my personal self, TikTok is great. I use TikTok because TikTok is, I think when you are starting up for, let's say, a brand or a business or whatever, TikTok is one of the early places that you can get highly organic engagements and other things, and it comes so easily, right? TikTok algorithm, they automatically pushes pages that are fresh, that are green, that are new, and it's easy. Once you understand how the algorithm works, TikTok is very go-to for you if you are now starting up, right? I also make use of Facebook and Instagram. And for Facebook and Instagram, mainly because I'm able to run ads over there. And also Facebook because of the kind of target audience that are there. Because Facebook, you get more of millennials and, so more working class, people that have money to spend. You're definitely going to get them on Facebook and Instagram. Okay, and for the fact that you're able to run the ads and target properly, with the kind of people you want to target and everything, because Facebook gives you that. That's why I also use Facebook and Instagram. For Twitter, a little bit, not too much, but I use Twitter just to know what is happening, what is trending, meander myself into the conversation, the trends and everything, so that you can incorporate that when you are building your content strategy and if you want to target certain people as well, based on trends and conversation. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for your responses. Very insightful. I would also like to say, when we are answering some of these questions, if possible, if we could give like kind of like scenarios for various businesses, so that the listeners on the call can kind of like relate to the various small businesses that each and every one of them has. I think on our next question, we are going to be looking at some of the challenges when creating consistent content on social media, especially as a business owner. What do you guys think is most challenging when it comes to creating content consistently for your business or for a business? I'd like to hear from Kafui.
Sure. I think it's safe to assume that most of the business owners here are SMEs. So I'll take it from maybe you work alone or you don't have a big team. I think in that case, then one of the major challenges is that you have to do everything yourself. You have to do your graphics yourself. You have to create the videos yourself. You have to shoot the videos yourself. So that's a major challenge that I've observed. And maybe a way to I don't know if you're asking for a way to combat it now or if I should chip that in, but okay, that's one challenge. I think also because we're so flooded with a lot of people posting content on social media, we think we can just jump into it without a plan. And that's just a recipe for disaster. You'll end up being drained, frustrated, confused, you don't have a direction. So you're just going to try everything at once, not knowing if it works for your audience or not. Maybe you're selling hair and you haven't thought about who do I want to buy this hair? And you are just trying to lift something else that somebody has done. Maybe that person's target audience is not your target audience. You cannot do the same thing, okay? And then maybe we also have problems with all the equipment that we use, like, you have to use an iPhone 14. Or my biggest advice is work with what you have. There's somebody in your network, they're already following you because you are doing something right. It may not be everything, but you're doing at least one thing correct. And so work with what you have, do the little that you can, and plan to combat some of these things. So let me not just say everything and let the others also go ahead.
All right, I see Ehikem is smiling. Looks like you have something to say as well. Can you share your thoughts on this?
To add to what Kafui said, managing social media accounts and working with various brands, I've learned that always a problem between the brand owners and I tell them to know their product and know their audience. But sometimes they're in a hurry to just jump on trends because this is trending. This person did it and it worked for them. So even if you want to copy what someone is doing, you have to know your product, know your brand, look at what is trending and tailor it to what works for you. And you tailor it to what works for you, because what worked for A may not work for you because your audience will just not appreciate it. Yes.
All right, thank you very much for that. Entamoty, I personally follow you on almost all your social media. So I see you're very active on there. So I really like to hear what you have to say about creating content consistently, because I think that's something that you do very well. Even on your social media status, you are constantly updating us with your business, with activities where you are, events that you are attending or organizing and stuff like that. What are some of the challenges that you also face personally? And just like Kafui said, what are some of the things that you can do to curb these challenges as well?
Yeah. Actually, personally, I don't think I really go through a lot of challenge, because I've created that conviction that I live for this, right? Content is king, and this is the era that truly defines that adage or whatever we call it, that content is really king, right? So you need to, I always say, everything is content. Everything is content. So what we are doing even right now, like I can have another camera set up and then video and everything, and it's content, because sometimes that's where we try to not find the dots, because we feel like content is supposed to be in a certain kind of way, which is not, because everything, because now you can go on, when you go on TikTok, you go on the Instagram and other things, there are certain videos that you see that have gone viral, they've had a lot of engagement on these videos, and you ask yourself, like, what is so special about this video that everybody is just, making noise or making a fuss about it? But that's it. People want to watch. I feel like if I'm speaking for other people, some of the major challenges that I've seen people, especially entrepreneurs, not come up to create content about themselves, about their businesses, and I think one of the reasons has got to do with the lack of confidence and a little bit of inferiority complex. And I think it has been a challenge for most people, because obviously I've engaged a lot of startups, and you tell the entrepreneurs themselves that, hey, you look so good, talk about your product, be in the content, do it, and they will start telling you that, oh, I'm not a camera person, I'm not a camera person, No, you don't have to be or see yourself in a certain kind of way, an influencer or whatever, before you go out there to start creating those content. Forget about all those things, shake it off, because you have to know that it is only you who can really sell your business very well. Whichever influencer that you go pay money that they should do content for you, you can sell it way better than them. And I'll give a practical example, because you spoke about practical example. So with Flick, right, Flick projectors, I started off the page. It was a virgin page, nothing. Most people would think that, oh, maybe you have some fans, you are starting up, you want it to blow faster. Why don't you just buy a page? No, I always advise against buying a page. I never bought a page. I started from ground up, and I started getting organic following from that page. And yes, I was thinking of getting people to promote the product, but I personally made a video myself. And I'm saying this because I'm not saying that video blew because maybe some people know me or something like that. No, because that page was a virgin page, and mind you, nobody knew about the brand or who was behind the brand. And I did a video and I posted it on that platform, and the video got 1 million+ views. It was shocking. It was crazy, but this is it. If I had given it to someone, probably the video wouldn't have gotten that views, because they might not know the message that I really want to carry across. But because this is my brand and I understand this brand very well, I was able to really communicate what I want to communicate to garner that kind of view. So I think people should shake off the shyness. People should just get out there and start creating content. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. We have spoken a lot about creating content consistently, some of the issues that we might face and all of that. But doing all of that, what is the motive behind all of this content creation? How do you define like the goals for all the efforts or all the content that you're creating for your social media channel? Because we are talking about consistency. Okay, we are being consistent with the content, but what is the point of us creating that content? And how can we measure or define clear goals for all of these efforts? I think I didn't hear from Carrington in the last submission, so I'd like Carrington to take this question.
Thank you, Ian. So I have it abbreviated SMART, SMART. So S for specific. It's not just about creating content. There has to be a reason why. There has to be a target. What am I creating for? Who am I creating for? Why am I creating? So it should be specific. And M is for measurable. It's your content. There are so many tools online that you could use to measure how well your content is performing online. So your content should be something that should be measurable across all platforms or on the platform that you choose to post. And then A, it should be achievable. Do something that you know you can keep up with. Do something that you know when you start, you don't fall off or break off during a certain period of time, depending on how your goal is set up. And then R, it should be relevant. Like I said, it shouldn't just be about anything. Don't just post anything or you see a trend and you just hop on it because everybody is doing it. And let's say everybody is doing wait, they don't love me like I love you. And then it has nothing to do with your brand. And then you're doing a video like that. It's completely irrelevant and you've completely missed out the point. And then the T will be time bound. So everything that you do should be within the schedule, should be within the time frame that you want to accomplish whatever goal that you have set. So that's how I'd measure it. It should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Thank you.
All right, Carrington, thank you very much. Just a follow-up question on what you said. Are there tools available that as a business owner who is not looking to pay for tools, like free tools that we can use that can help us kind of like achieve all of these goals and targets that you spoke about? Yeah, Carrington, did you hear me?
Yes. So one tool that I know is Hootsuite. Hootsuite is a very, very instrumental tool in facilitating your social media growth. And there's also Buffer. Buffer is for mostly scheduling posts. So you want to, maybe it's the, so we have the festive season coming up. Is it the Edo Ada or Edo Fitr? Which one is it? I forgot which one it is. But if you have, so for instance, during this period, you want to batch create content and then post on there. So you can schedule it on there and then use Buffer for that. So Buffer and Hootsuite, I highly recommend.
All right, thank you very much, Carrington. I also like to have Kafui also speak on this specific question. So Kafui, if you could share your thoughts on this.
On the tools or how to come up with your goal?
Yeah, how to measure all your efforts and how you define clear goals when it comes to social media.
I mean, I think Carrington basically tackled everything. He basically covered everything. And honestly, nobody can define your goals but you. You are the one starting a business. What is the reason for starting the business? Why are you doing it? And why are you getting on social media? What are you hoping to use social media to do? That's what helps you form your goal. And then you apply what Carrington said to make sure that the goal makes sense. You know, that it's smart, it's specific, it's measurable, and all of those things that he said. I hope you took the notes down. I've never been able to memorize SMART, but yeah, you want to make sure that it's something that you can actually achieve, not just this highfalutin goal in the air that we never see you, you know, put in steps to get to. And in terms of measuring your, what do you call it? Like, you know, putting things in place to make sure that you're achieving the things that you said you want to do, right? If you don't have the goal, you can't measure anything. I'll give you an example. If you start a business online and your major goal is I want people to see what it is I'm selling. Maybe I have a brick and mortar store and all I need for people to see that, hey, I'm here. Then you want to be checking when I post, do people share it? Nowadays, Instagram can show you, oh, this many people saw your post, but does it translate to how many shares? If your goal is, I need people to see this post, then a big metric for you is how many people shared it. That tells you that, oh, the number, maybe 5 people came across your post. They found it so valuable that they thought other people in their network should also see it, right? And then they go ahead and do that. Helps you get the visibility that, but again, it comes back to your goal. If you don't know what it is that you are doing, you'll be measuring the wrong things. Okay. So I wish I knew some of the businesses that were on here to give more practical examples, but hopefully you can apply some of these things. But yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Kafui. Just to give you a fair idea of some of the businesses that are here, based on some responses I got, I think we have tailors on here. I think we have people with men's sports where they sell clothes, some sell food. We also have barbers. We also have people who have corner stores. We have people who have boutiques and stuff like that. So these are a few of the businesses.
There was a graphic designer who introduced himself too.
Yeah, we also have graphic designers as well, and then web developers as well. So if you can give some examples that could help these specific businesses, that would be amazing.
Yeah. You know, and a lot of the businesses on here, well, most of them, if not all, are B2C, meaning that your target audience is the actual customer, not another business, right? So your major thing on social media should be, are you being relatable? Can other people see you and feel like, oh, I can see myself in this? Personally, if I show you my saved, what do you call it, content on Instagram, for example, I save the things because they relate to me. So if you said, for example, there's a food place, and for me, as if I were your target audience, a major thing for me is cleanliness. Does the place look like a place I can come and sit down and eat without worry about flies and stuff? You want to show that to your target audience. You know, okay, backtrack. I feel like we're giving a full course on strategy here, but you need to think also about, I think we talked about it a bit, but your target audience, and you build what we call a persona. So let's say that you sell food. Maybe your food is street food and you're not really thinking about the business exec in Stanbic or whatever. Maybe your food is for the average Ghanaian walking on the street, etc. They may not necessarily be thinking about cleanliness, but they will be thinking about health. Maybe how you keep your food, maybe you wear gloves, all those things make you more attractive, especially in a place, you know, in a very terrible economy. Nobody wants to go to the hospital. Nobody wants to spend money anywhere, that kind of thing. So make sure that you're positioning yourself and showing them what would attract them to you, right? I have an idea even for a, I mean, it may cost you small, but not really. If you own a food thing, but you can do a free tasting. I organized an event at the Ifa Sutherland Park one time, and one of the vendors that came was selling juice. And there were so many other fruit juice stands. But what this vendor did was to have free tasting available. And when I tell you that they took over the market, nobody was buying from any other fruit vendor except this vendor. Why? Because they knew what it tasted like. They had put their product in front of the customer. So it's the same thing, just apply it to social media. You know, create content that shows your customer enjoying your food, what they have to say about your food, how much it costs, things like that. So yeah, Ian, I can go on and on. Let me end it here.
All right, okay. I do appreciate it. It seems like you also covered the most parts of the question. So I'll move on to something else. So for business owners, especially for people who run their businesses on their own, just like you mentioned on Kafui earlier on, are there any tools that they can use that can simplify their social media processes? I think earlier on Carrington spoke about Hootsuite and Buffer as well, which he said you can use to schedule your posts. Are there any other tools that you like to add on, especially for their processes from creating the content to scheduling it to posting it to helping them keep track of how the content is performing and stuff like that. Ehikem, can you share some thoughts on that?
Yes, I believe for small businesses, especially where the CEO does everything, you can, and maybe if you are not always online, ChatGPT can serve as a guide for content ideas, but it should just serve as a guide. You shouldn't fully rely on it. You could also use Canva for your graphics, because Canva gives you some templates that you can just fix pictures in. It gives you the font styles and sizes, so you can use that for your graphics. And also CapCuts can help with your video editing. And Instagram has some features that's actually pushes your content. So I found out recently that if you edit your videos with Instagram itself, Instagram pushes it more than the ones that are edited from external apps. So you could do that. You could use the Instagram features as well. Just take some time off to learn about it. Yes, these are 4 that I think should be on every small business owner's list.
Okay, all right, thank you very much for that. So quickly move on to the next question, which is more about still focusing on scheduling. As a business owner, it's really important to have a content calendar for how you're going to be posting your content and stuff like that. Entamoty, seeing as you're also one of the people on the platform that has activity on a lot of social media platforms, what is the importance of having a content calendar or having a schedule for how regularly you post your content on social media?
Yeah, I mean, content calendar is so crucial. Obviously, it's not just about spontaneous posting. I believe in spontaneous posting. Actually, I do that all the time. Something's come up and I feel like it's good. Let's do it, and then we put it out there. But scheduling your content is very, very, very important. I mean, we spoke about all these tools. It's very good. I hope people wrote something down. I'm jotting things down here. And let's not also forget about the old days of we coming together. Even if it is your sister at home, yeah, I know we talk about CEO, you're doing everything and all of that, but I know you have some friends, you have some family members who would like to support you. Please bring them together, brainstorm, very important, yeah? Brainstorm, discuss about the content that you wish you want to talk about topics, talk about what you've seen on social media. You see some videos on social media, you like it, you want to duplicate it. There's nothing wrong with that. Pick the link, do what you can do, add a little bit touch of originality to it, and put it out there, right? So brainstorming is very important. You can't do it all yourself. You might think that you have all the ideas, but the best moment for you to really come up with like exciting content plans is when you brainstorm with other people, and then you just try to write them down and see how best by using these tools as well. And I've been using CapCuts a lot, right? CapCuts is so beginner user friendly. So if you are starting up, CapCuts will really help you. Just watch a couple of tutorial videos on how to use CapCut, and you can just do 1 or 2 videos and then go on there. If you want to get it in a portrait or landscape or whichever way you want to let it suit your content plan and how you want to put it out there, then you can do that ratio and then put it there. So I mean, basically be spontaneous and also plan.
All right, thank you very much. Would any of the speakers like to add any other thing? If not, we can move on to the next question, which is very important for the business owners on here. What strategies have worked for you as a business owner and as a social media manager also working for a business? Can you speak a little bit about the strategies that have worked for you when it comes to attracting more customers to your business or your client's business? I really like for Kafui to take this one, and I know she has a lot to say, so she should feel free to tell us everything on how we can use social media to attract more customers to our businesses.
It's actually quite straightforward. Social media, it's a digital version of your friend group. Think about it that way. You are dealing with human beings. Even though it's on a phone or a laptop or whatever, there's a human being at the end of it. So you have to think about what another human being would like to see. Think about the churches that just put, sorry, some of my clients are churches too. Think about churches that just post flyers. It's like their Instagram, for example, is just a digital bulletin board. Engagement is very low there because nobody wants to come and just read. No, people appreciate people. So make sure that your content is very human centric. If, for example, you've been doing a lot of flyers about your business, I guarantee you that if you make a video of yourself, nothing even polished, just a video of yourself saying, hi, my name is this, I'm the founder of this, and I'd like to, you'll see that your engagement goes through the roof because people like to see people. Okay, so create human focused or human centric content. If you have staff, record them. Again, I work with some hospitals as well. So when you get into the hospital space, they are thinking very formal, we are advertising this business, but forgetting that they have a whole resource of human beings on their payroll. And they actually like having fun. The nurses and things like that, they like having fun. So if you gather the nurses and you record a video of them just being human beings, we always see that the engagement goes up. So yes, human-centric content. The second thing is be relatable. I think I touched on this a bit earlier. Be relatable. What does it mean to be relatable? You as a human being, what kind of content tickles your fancy? What kind of content makes you happy? You share content that makes you laugh, content that makes you think about yourself. So create content that you yourself would like to see, although the content is not for you. I mean, and over here, I want to borrow what Entamoty said. Here, you want to really leverage your friends and family because in your mind, you think that, oh, this makes so much sense. But somebody can see it and say, this one is not really making sense like that. So always make sure that it's relatable with somebody else as well. That can be like your two-factor authentication. And the last thing I would say is engage the community. Like I said, it's just a digital version of your friend group in real life. How you relate with people, relate with them on social media. I mean, if you're a person that insults, that's not what I mean. I'm not saying go on social media and just be, but I mean, connect with people. If somebody comes to comment on your page, like, oh, I like this dress, or I like this, or how much is this food? I hate that see your DM thing. Please stop. Don't do that. See your DM, please. Please, if you do that, stop it. They come to your page. If they wanted to enter your DM, they would have just messaged you on your DM. They've commented. It's a great avenue for you to come and respond and say, hey, thanks for reaching out. Would you like to drop by? This is how much it is. Engage with the people. You will be amazed what connecting with people does for your business. Somebody else will go and tell their friend or something, oh, I checked this, whatever. This is what they had to see. Let's check it out. Maybe next time we're in the area. I do this all the time. And like it or not, social media has replaced Google in a sense. We hardly Google things. You go to Instagram and search food in whatever, or a certain hashtag, and it may bring up your business. You want people to have good things to say about your business. So be relatable, create human-centered content, and engage your community. Ian, I kept it short and sweet.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was very insightful. Which I think also relate a lot to that. I really like human-centric content. I also don't really like people that don't like the prices of their products and tell you to come into their DMs. So I think that's also some good advice for business owners as well. And because personally, I also feel like once I'm on your page and I see the price of the shoe or the dress or whatever it is, I can make an immediate decision as to whether I can afford it or not, rather than wasting both our times now interact with your DMs and I'm like, oh, okay, it's too expensive, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, thank you for your submission. Carrington, would you like to add on to what Kafui said?
Yes. So I'd say is most of the time you find that whatever product or service you're selling or offering, there are people who are already doing that. There are people who have been doing that way before you. So what I usually do, one of the strategies I usually do is I do a competitor analysis. Who's doing well? in this product that I'm selling as well? Who's doing well? What did they do differently on their social media? I go and check the comments. I check the kind of posts that they do. It's those are the combination of all this informs me on what kind of content to create. So as not to exactly copy or mimic what they are doing as well. And you find that research will let you know that the algorithm pushes content that does well. Let's say you post a video and in the first 5 seconds, you're getting like 20 likes, 30 likes, 50 likes. For the algorithm, you understand that this is something people like to see. And guess what? It pushes it even further. So that's one of the ways to grow online. And I'll share something with you right now on my screen. So when it comes to social media, she mentioned Kafui touched on the fact that most churches just post flyers and it's just static, right? One of the things that performs very well are ads, reels. So there's a structure that we use here. We have an ad reel structure. I don't know if you can see it here. So it's broken into parts, right? We have the hook, we have the breaking of the resistance, the building trust, and then the call to action. And I'll break it down for you. So with the hook, you find, I don't know, I'm sure most of you have seen online where you see a video where there's a meme, and then the meme transitions into an actual video, and then the video starts. So that's a hook. That's just to get your attention. And then based off of research, we found that the attention span of people just gets shorter and shorter. And right now we are at 3 seconds. So if you can't capture me in the first 3 seconds, you've lost me. I'm gone. I'm moving on to the next post, especially on TikTok. If it's not interesting in the first 3 seconds, I'm scrolling past because there's no reason why I should stay. There's a lot of content to consume. I'll just immediately skip past. So after that, you break resistance. This is where you tell your story. And then this is where you affirm your story. And then you encourage them to make a decision. So it takes us back to the thing about the goals, right? So that's what I'll say. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Carrington, for that detailed explanation how people can go about creating their content to push visibility and get more eyes on their content. We have spoken a lot about content, creating content, which is basically a lot of organic stuff that's been done. But I also like to ask our speakers as well if they also do paid advertisements on social media. If they are doing so, why are they doing it? And if they are not doing paid ads, why are they also not doing it? So we can also help the various business owners on the call make decisions on this. I think Ehikem, you can take this first, then Entamoty will speak on it as well, because I heard him earlier on mention that he also likes Facebook a lot because of the ads he runs on there. So I also like to hear his thoughts on that. But if Ehikem can take this question first on how she leverages paid advertisements on social media. That is if she's doing that for herself, her business, or for her clients as well. Ehikem?
Yes, I do some paid ads, especially for clients that I manage, accounts that I manage. So I have this brand that I handle their whole social media strategy, and it's very niched. Like, it's a Ghanaian brand, but a handbag that they sell goes for as high as 5,000 cedis. And with that, the target isn't really Ghanaians. Although it's a Ghanaian brand, it's not Ghanaians. But because it's a very niche class, we have to focus on tapping into different demographics. Because of that, I do the ads for them. And with Meta, you can choose a location you want the ads to be at. So then I put London, I put New York, I put Beverly Hills, I put everything that's the brand that resonates with the audience that we are looking for. That's the reason why I do ads. Yes. And it also ties back to the, if we could go back, since you didn't call me, I'll say it anyway. Back to the community. So this brand, because it's very niche, pretty much targeting the 1%. It's our community that sells for us. We can only do so much. So we have a very tight niche community that's now they have become our mouthpieces. Most of our sales are based on references. And how we build the community is to make people feel like when we serve them, they are the only ones that we are serving. And also we make life easier for them. If someone says that, oh, I'm not in Ghana now, so can you keep my bag for me? Although it's not store policy, yes, we can keep your bag for you. So when they tell someone, they will say, oh, this brand just made my life easier. This brand just made everything simple for us. And your friend will ask, oh, which brand is that? Then they have become our influencers. So we don't even pay influencers to do ads for us. It's our customers that bring us markets. Yes. Thank you.
Oh, that's nice to know that you have amazing customers that are bringing you more and more traffic to your product. Thank you for that. Entamoty would like to hear from you as well on how you are leveraging this.
I'm so happy. She spoke about the community building. I think it's a field that we've kind of neglected a little bit these days, when we are creating business. But everything is built around community, whether we like it or not. Absolutely everything. So if you are starting up a business and you try to establish a kind of a hardcore cult-like people that really believe in the product, that can literally stand anywhere and defend your product or recommend it to people by any which means, whether they are posting on their status, whether they are joining trends, whatever that they are doing. And when we say community, we are not saying go and pay some people to come and do something for you, especially when you are starting up, you don't have that funds to pay people to do that. So please, establishing a cult-like community around your business is very good. And trust me, if you do this well, and Ion, you're talking about the Facebook communities, the WhatsApp communities and other places, Telegram and all of that. If you do this very, very well, you'll be shocked at the level that your business will get to. To get to a point, you don't even have to, do any other thing again. So yeah, so I feel like the community is good. And also, when you are starting on the question on building ads and other things, when you are starting, I will not advise you start running ads all of a sudden. I will not personally, I don't know, but I will not advise you start going gaga on ads on Facebook, or now TikTok even provide ads, right? So you can still run ads on TikTok, not that big, but I will not advise starting that. I will advise that when you are starting up, try as much as possible to at least even get like 300 to 500 following. Okay, it's hard, but try and get at least 300 to 500 following. These are people that have organically been like your businesses have organically called in these people. Okay, and if you're able to achieve even just this, you will be able to predict what you'll be able to achieve in the next year, in the next 6 months, or because ask yourself that now that you are starting and you are not putting in any inorganic ads, and now people are attracted to the business organically, and I have been able to have like this 500 quote unquote following, 300, 200, 100 following. And I always say this, people don't respect the views and the following they get. People see 100 views and they are discouraged. I'm like, bro, imagine 100 people in a room, right? That's a lot of people. So just imagine you yourself selling to 100 people that have seen it, So I think after that, maybe after you've garnered that 500, 300 following, then you can tap a little bit into some sort of ads, and then you can keep growing. Yeah.
All right, thank you for submission. Kafui, if you could just add a little more. I know you have some stuff to say as well. If you could also speak on this a little bit, that would be great.
I agree with what he just said. Opting for paid ads is very risky. You can't guarantee your return on investment, right? So you want to approach it very carefully. But if you must, make sure that you're doing it well, that you are at least guaranteed some. So for example, with what he said, right, imagine doing an ad for maybe 400 CDs for like 3 days, and they come to your page, but you don't even have 50 followers, or you don't have 100. It's screaming, this person is not serious. You are not serious. I mean, you can't even get people to follow your page, etc. So you want to build that foundational base before. I will let you in on a strategy that I use sometimes when I'm doing ads for some gospel musicians here. And this is more Google ads, right? So I discovered that when I'm setting up, I don't know if this is applicable, but in case you want to run a Google ad for your business, I discovered that if I'm running an ad to promote their video or a new song or something, I can piggyback off of, or let me make it more, I can ride on somebody else's built page. I don't know if that makes sense. So nowadays, we're watching a lot of YouTube videos, etc. So what I would do is to target the audience of, somebody that can connect, maybe Funke Akindele or something. She doesn't do YouTube movies, but just for an example, let's say that she produces movies on YouTube. I can target her audience because they are Nigerian or they are Ghanaian. So they are likely to have heard about a certain Ghanaian gospel musician or whatever musician in this space. So if they see the ad, it's not far-fetched. They will come here and say, oh, I want to hear what that song is about. Last time I did that, we got 1 million views in a week, which is not typical for that particular musician. And so that's something that you can adapt if it's applicable. I just wanted to, since Ian is insisting that I add, just to add to what Entamoty said, because what he said is very, very solid. Approach it, carefully, but if you must, you have to do it wisely as well, because it's expensive and very painful to not get a return on investment. So yeah.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, we are fast spent on time, so I'll skip quite a number of questions and just ask 1 or 2 more very important questions, which I believe are very helpful to our listeners on the call today. So coming off the back of the social media advertising part, as a business owner or even as an individual, how do you handle negative comments or customer complaints online? So I have a business and someone comes to write bad things under my post talking about that, oh, maybe because it's a disgruntled customer or customer is not happy, says, oh, this person frauded me, which is obviously lies, or says certain things that are not nice about my business or me as an individual. How do you handle such negative comments or complaints online as a business owner? Ehikem, can you take this one?
Yes, as a business owner that has an online page, I think you should put your ego outside and put on the persona as a business owner. Don't take any personal decisions because maybe someone you don't like or you don't like how this person is behaving. Just apologize, take responsibility if you are at fault, and look at the way forward. You shouldn't go back and, like, I went to a salon once and then they bent my hair. Like, my hair fell out. I went bald last year. And this lady she didn't even say sorry. She didn't even say sorry. And I was planning on doing a whole smear campaign about her, but God touched my heart, so I changed my mind. To someone like this, anyone that says they are going there, word of mouth, I'll say no. So the whole Sakumono, we don't go there because of me. So yes, I was just looking for sorry.
Please tell me,
I wasn't even looking for a
because I miss Akumono.
Eba Beauty Salon on the Sakumono Village Road.
Okay.
I was not even looking for free service or her to fix my hair. I was just looking for I'm sorry. And that never came. So first, take responsibility, apologize, and look at the way forward. Even if the person is writing a whole paragraph, oh, I'm sorry, what can we do about it? Another paragraph, oh, I'm sorry, what can we do about it? Put your ego aside, put your personal grievances aside, and focus on the way forward. And in looking at the way forward too. So for instance, like another brand that I manage, if a customer brings something and says, oh, this part is broken, this part isn't working well, we make sure we give them a replacement with a 20% discount on your next purchase. So this way it's pushing them to come to us to buy again. So when you buy again, that's when you can redeem your discounts. So it's a win-win for both of us. I'm making more money from you, but you're also getting your discounts. Yes. So that's something small businesses can do too.
All right, thank you. So I have a follow-up question, but I want Kafui to answer this one the way she was behaving. So what if the comments or the reviews that the person is giving are lies, not necessarily true, like the way Ehikem shared a story where the business owner was obviously at fault? What if this is a situation where Ehikem is probably not just happy with the cost of the hairstyle she went to do. So because of that, she's on a smear campaign on social media saying that their services are bad. I was treated XYZ. Well, obviously, it's a lie. As a business owner, what should I do in such a situation?
Yeah, one thing I'll say is yes, first of all, you want to secure that. Like every human being is your potential client. However, don't be afraid to lose a client. Don't, because imagine retaining that client, that person is going to be problematic for you. Yesterday I was at the salon, again with the salon. Yesterday I was at the salon. This old woman walked in and said she wanted to do the exact same thing I was doing. And they said, oh, this is going to be 500 CDs, for example. She called somebody, the person said she should leave. When she walked out, one of the hairdressers was coming back in, and she went to tell a complete lie about what had happened inside, and it became a whole fight. Now imagine if this person had done it on social media, and I've experienced that before, but because it's on your page, what you want to do is still say, I'm so sorry you had this experience. You're not saying I did what you said I did, but I'm sorry you had this experience. How can we rectify? If they are willing to play along, right? Not at your expense, but if they are not willing, just if necessary, you can put out a statement or reply to that comment and say, sorry you had this experience. We checked in with our staff and have corroborated their story or whatever, and we'd like to, apologize for any inconvenience you may have experienced, period. No resolution, don't come in. Please come for free food, because they will repeat it. Do you get me? Just make sure that you're ending it on a good note, because the person is just what do you call it? The word is not coming to me. They are going to keep repeating if you try to retain them, right? That if somebody shows you who they are, believe it. Leave it there.
Okay.
That answers the question.
Yeah. So last, I would like to hear from Entamoty as a business owner. Have you encountered such situations, whether it's in your business, your projector business, or even with your blogging business and influencing and all of that? Have you had bad reviews from customers because they're not happy with the charge, or maybe they pay for you to be around for a specific time period, and then they wanted you to stay a bit longer, but you're like, hey, no, you just paid me for X amount of time, the events, I'm leaving, and they're not happy, so they are giving bad reviews and stuff like that. How do you handle things like that?
Yeah, obviously, as for us, Charlie, say these kind of things is, it's back to back, like, it happens. You don't take time. Some people even call you scammer and all of that. Like, we get it a lot, but I think protecting your brand out there is very important. It's very, very crucial. Before I talk about my personal stuff for the business I run, and with what is it Ehikem was saying, right?
Yes, Ehikem.
Kafui, yeah, sorry,
Okay.
Kafui.
Sorry.
Yeah, with what Kafui was saying, some of the clients, oh my God, like sometimes the lies are too much, and it's so glaring. Like people are lying through their teeth, and you can see it. I one time I was there, and there was a guy who came to buy a product, and when he came, right, the person that he bought the product from was not there. So he came to meet me and another person. And he started, oh, I bought this product, da, 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 da. And for us, because we have a return policy, so the first question that I asked was, okay, so when did you buy this product? Oh, I don't really recall, I think 2 weeks there. I'm like, are you sure you bought this product 2 weeks? Oh, yeah, but now we called the person that he bought a product from. And he bought a product like 3 months ago. 3 months ago. So imagine someone like this, and this has been confirmed because there is sales logs and there are receipts and everything. And this person is saying 2 weeks. Like right then and there, if you are not professionally trained about how to handle customers, you can just blow out and then, just start saying also, oh, why are you lying and stuff like that. But, I handled it very professionally. I was like, okay, so this is it. Show the receipt, da. You take the person through the whichever policies that you have. So this is glaring. This is there. Everybody can see this. This is how it is. This is how it. it is done. And then we try to now communicate to solve whichever problem that he's coming up with. But if you don't approach it this way, you try to maybe let anger lead you and stuff like. Trust me, you are always going to fight with customers, and that is going to be a problem for you. Mind you, even though you were right, okay, and they always say the customer is right. I understand. I agree. We are all customers. But let's say this scenario, you are right, 100%, like what I'm just talking about. We are 100% right. Everything is there. The fact is there. But maybe I did not talk to this person very well. I disrespected him in a certain kind of way. And he goes out there and he puts camera on them. They start making videos. The funny thing is there are so many people who are out there who will not dig into issues like this. Immediately they've seen someone making a bad review about your video, they are happy. Oh, it is true. These people, we call them, the lady, she doesn't know how to talk. Some people are actually waiting for your issue to come, and then they jump on it, and we'll even do a follow-up video to really tarnish your image and stuff like that. So what I'm saying is try as much as possible as business owner so that it doesn't get to that level, like with whoever it is. Negative news really sell very fast, because that video can get 100,000 views, and your video that you are going to do the whole whatever to explain yourself can get 2,000 views. At the end of the day, who has won? And you were even right, So try as much as possible to prevent people from going onto social media, from saying all sort of things about, unless you have really gotten to the peak of it, and then even with that, try to get evidence. Okay, that's why we have CCTV cameras and all these things everywhere. It's not only for the thieves, so sometimes it's some of these things. So when these people go out there and they try to make all sort of false accusations about your brand, about your business, you can also post proof, and then you talk about it. So approach it very professionally, because as for negative comments, come on, they are always gonna come. For my personal brand, mostly it has got to do with legal stuff. For that, I have a lawyer who, when that happens, I just throw in everything to. Yeah, for me, that has been especially, with the blogging, how it is. Maybe you go talk about somebody, they are not well with it, they start writing you some court letters and stuff like that. I don't handle it because I know it's more legal, because I might go and say certain things that I don't understand that we can use against me in court and stuff. So for that, I throw those things to the legals, and then they handle it. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Entamoty. So like I mentioned, we are fast spent for time. I think we'll probably have to do a part 2 so we can cover the rest of the questions. But I'm just going to open the floor for 2 or 3 questions from some of the business owners on the call. So if you have a question that's relatable to the webinar, and not necessarily about generally the Fido app, but specific to the webinar, if you have a question about your business, or you need some advice on some decision making when it comes to social media and stuff like that. Emmanuel, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, thank you very, very much for this opportunity. I'm very, very happy for this insight. So please, I want to ask, as my name is Emmanuel Do. So in managing pages like Instagram, at which point do I use my personal pages, and at which point do I use my business pages? Because now you are telling us that we should be able to represent our brand or what we do. So which account should we use? Should we focus on the personal account or the business accounts?
Okay, so any of our wonderful guests can help answer Emmanuel's question.
Okay, I'll say from experience, and let me take TikTok for instance. For TikTok, when you are starting, I think you should start with a personal account. Don't start with a business. Again, this is my advice, my opinion. Start it with personal. If you build it to a certain space, then you can switch to a business account, and it's always easy to switch, right? Because you need the business tools also for your ads and other things. But when you are starting up, start it as a personal account, because when you are starting up and you start with a business, it will be difficult to grow. You will grow, but it will take some time. But when you start with personal, the algorithm see you as any normal person, normal creator that is just out there, that's just creating their content. And the viewers will also see you like that. And mind you, you are going to be fun. You are not going to be doing too much business. And with that, you realize that in a very short time, you're able to grow it. Then you can switch it. Now, you must also have your own personal account, and your business also has its account. What I'm saying is just about a business. But as a person, you yourself, make sure you have your own account for your own thing. I've had a lot of clients. Now maybe they've gotten some contracts, they've gotten some promotions and other things, and now they want to start from the drawing board to start building on their personal brand. Everybody needs a personal brand. Every single person needs a personal brand. So this is the time to start now. Don't just say that, oh, now I don't have a lot of things to tell people or things to show people. You can still talk about your business with your personal brand, right? And then you have the business account as well. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Emmanuel, does that answer your question?
Yes. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Elizabeth, you also have a question. You can go ahead and ask your question. Hello, Elizabeth, you have to unmute and speak so we can hear you. All right, you can hear from Elizabeth. Is there any other person who has a question regarding their business and how they can use social media to push it, get more orders, get more eyes on their products, on their services, and stuff like that? Yeah, Francis, do you have a question? Okay.
Ian, sorry, just to add to what Entamoty said regarding Emmanuel's question. For Emmanuel, in case what you are talking about is that you have an existing personal account and an existing business account, you want to, like what Entamoty was saying about having a personal brand, try as much as possible to leverage your personal brand in promoting the business. So, for example, on Instagram, if you have both pages, you can always invite the one, maybe use your personal page if you have more following or whatever, to collaborate with your business page to draw some eyes over there. Okay, if that's your actual context right now, but always use your personal brand to leverage your personal brand in promoting the business as well. If that's your current, if you are not starting from scratch, like he was saying, where you now have to start your personal account and all that. Okay, I hope that makes sense.
Yes, please. And then please, I think that since people are not ready to talk, let me take the opportunity.
No. I want to ask a question. I want to ask a question.
Okay, Francis, please ask your question.
Yeah. Sorry. So when you were making some comments about giving references of some businesses for Kafui and the staffs to give strategies, I was kind of hoping for you to mention like a service-based kind of business and a consulting business online. So I own, or rather starting a consulting business and a service business. So I want to know, is there any strategy you think I should use, or any social media I could leverage, or anything? Like, I just need like anything. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Ehikem, Kafui, who would like to help answer Francis's question?
Francis, it means that you are in a service-based business. And again, your target audience is actual people. Even if it's a B2B, it's people behind the business, right? So think about who the target audience is, what problems do they face, and how do you solve those problems? So you can do video, if you are talking about videos, you can do videos. I don't know if you've seen those videos that starts with a question. That's the hook, and it's relatable to a person who's going through that problem or who needs an answer to that question. So I don't know what your consultancy is about, but think about who do I need to patronize this business? What problem do they have that I can solve? And create content around answering those questions. And it shows them that you are credible, you have the knowledge, you have the expertise to help them. They will then come to you. But again, don't make your business a bulletin board. I mean, your social media a bulletin board for your business. People will just scroll right past it. Okay, so create the videos, make it human-centric and relatable. You can add comedy, you can make it thought-provoking. However, you can make it relatable to attract your target audience. Definitely go for that.
Hi, Francis. Which business do you do? Okay, I think he's gone off. But
I think
also, in
it's-
addition to what Kafui said, yes, you are
Ehikem, sorry, you asked a question. My mic was off.
okay.
So I haven't officially started the business. I'm starting by testing it with some few friends, and they're kind
Okay.
of giving me some good feedback about it. So I want to officially go into it. So
Okay.
so currently like a consulting business and a service-based business. So I have no idea in how to like put myself out there or how
Mm,
to leverage anything. What the other guy was saying, like being shy of the camera, stuff like that. I am part of those people. I am very, very shy in putting myself out there,
yeah,
but I'm very, very good in what I do. I can assure you that. And
great.
thirdly, like I have no like I would say I'm starting from the scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
so
I'm kind of yes.
in your content, highlight the niche that you are catering to. For instance, if you're a marketing consultant, you can say, are you a business that's struggling? And then you talk about your offerings, because it's your offerings that will keep the customers in the end. And also how you said you are trying out with your friends and your family. Like you said, they are part of your community. You can leverage on partnerships, having them do customer testimonials, going to them, doing the partnered posts. You can leverage on that too. So you don't have to be in front of the camera every time. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Ian, before you come in, Francis, from your answer to Elikem's question, I'm a little confused about what the business is. You said consulting and savings.
No, he says
I don't know.
seven.
is it
Seven.
instead
No,
of
I said
focusing on
service-based business in
service-based?
like
Okay. I was
Yeah,
like,
but
service-based
also
business and
what
consulting. Consulting is
service
a different like it's
exactly
a
do you
different
provide?
business on its own, and the service-based business is different on its own. Like the service-based business that is all about like engineering, like electrical engineering and stuff like that. And the consulting based is a different whole thing
oh,
altogether. So the consulting is what I've been doing with some few family and friends, and they're like, yeah, it's actually working from them for what I'm
Yes,
doing.
Francis.
But
This is what
I'm
exactly are
shy
you
putting
consulting
myself
on?
out there.
Hello, Francis. What exactly are you consulting on? Is it consulting on marketing, consulting on electricals, consulting on plumbing? What exactly is it that you consult for?
Consulting on like on electricals, yeah. Consulting on
Okay.
electricals.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so just like Ehikem mentioned earlier on, once you're consulting on electricals, it's important to once again back to Kafi's point where she was talking about the fact that you should know who you are trying to speak to, your target audience. So if you are consulting on electricals, you can be doing videos around do you have problems with your light bulbs, or you can also be doing content around how people can save electricity, the kind of light bulbs they can buy, and stuff like that. You know, are you facing power fluctuations? Then you also continue talking about how you can fix all those issues. So those are different content pieces that essentially you can be creating, which will be adding value to yourself and then the people that are watching your videos. So just like Kafui said, videos that ask a question. So when you're starting a video, you have a text that shows up like, are you having power fluctuations in your home? Then you have a video of yourself or your friend or your family member talking about how you can fix those problems or how problems like that come about. So that way, when people see those videos, they know that, okay, you specialize in this specific field of electricals, and then they can patronize your business. So essentially, I think that's what the information they're trying to convey to you. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, so much. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. And another thing before, sorry, I'm talking too much. I'm just eager. Sorry, forgive me. So
Okay.
another thing is that like is it really possible you get like customers apart, like far away from your like, for example, I'm not in Accra. I'm in the Volta region, Ho to be precise. Like, is it possible you get customers and clients anywhere,
Yes.
anywhere apart from your community or something? Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So let me help with this question because it's something that's happened to me personally. It's not my business, but I was working. Myself and some friends were working on a project where we needed some contractors and stuff like that. So we're looking at some people on social media because we didn't really know people who could give us referrals or word of mouth. So we're looking on social media and online, and we found a guy who was in, I think, Takrade. Yeah, he was in Takrade, but we are in Accra, and we're looking at his projects. He has a website, and he had pictures of the various things that he has done in people doing constructing buildings for different people. So like that was his portfolio or his evidence that he can do that work. We had a call discussion with him, and then we gave him a contract. So he came to Accra, and I think he came with his team, and they came to Accra to do the work, and then they go back. He said he's fine with traveling to come and work and stuff like that. So we just had a schedule where they used to come over the weekends, and then they work, and then they go back to Takrade. So I think it's very possible. You find a lot of businesses online, even people that sell clothes. There are sometimes they're even in Nigeria that people still order and ship to Ghana. So if you're using social media and using it very well, I believe that you'll be able to get customers from all over, whether it's within Ghana or even outside of Ghana. It's going to be very easy as long as you can showcase your skills and show that you have value. And that's where social media comes in, where you're doing all of those videos and people know that you have a firm understanding of what you want. So yeah, so it's I think to answer your question, it's
One
possible
more
to
thing.
get
Again,
things
sorry.
out there.
And that's what, remember, Francis, earlier we spoke about the ads, doing the meta ads. So with the ads, you can choose where you want your ads to be showed at, to be shown at, sorry. So you can try that too. Maybe for one of your contents that is doing really, really well, you can just promote it and choose where you want it to play at. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much, guys. I really, really appreciate. Like, you guys have like opened my mind, and like I never knew some of these things. I just used to be like wondering about them, but I'm really, really grateful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
We're also glad we were able to help you. We'll take one more question. I think Emmanuel Do. Oh yeah, you said you had another question. Yes, so go ahead.
Yes, so thank you very much. Okay, so I would like you guys to use my company as a case study. Okay, so I have an online store where I sell domains, website hosting cloud, and then email and productivity services. So can you use this my business as a case study to yes, I don't know how to put it, but I know you understand. So the name of the company is Classic Hot, and then we sell domains, website, hosting plans, cloud services, and then email services, and then online security services as well.
Perfect. So Emmanuel, on this your line of business, in the sense of content creation, you might think that you don't know anything to create content about, but I feel like you should do more educative content. Okay, do more educative content about website building, about domain, the do's and don'ts, what people think that is actually really not what it is. Talk about experiences you've had with clients. Talk about literally talk about all the things that you are doing. Okay, and this is how you get your business out there. Once you start educating your audience about the field, the space that you are operating in, then people that are watching you will know that you have, or you and your business has an authority in this space. And if they need assistance or they need whatever, they need to contact you. I told you this, I have a friend who was before doing tech stuff and switched to doing real estate because he is an architecture. He's been to an architectural school, stuff like that. And he was like, Charlie, how am I able to monetize this very well? So he started creating content content about rent, real estate, land, all these people trying to buy land and they'll be facing legals, how to spot a good land, how much some land was costing in 5 years ago and how much it's costing now. People actually want to know this. He is not directly marketing himself as, oh, look, when you come, I'll be able to put together your architecture plan for you. I'll do this, I'll do that. No. And I don't know if you guys know about this. There's this guy on TikTok, Ofosu Kwache. He also does similar things like that. And what he does is he educates his audience. He talks about what is happening, what is trending. Why are people going in for secret roof instead of the old roof or why is it even more important that when I pick the one with a roof or I go with a secret roof? And once people are listening to this, they are watching this, they know that this guy, he's an expert on this field. And if I need a roof, then I will definitely contact this guy. This has been so helpful to a lot of people that are in business. So I hope that, Emmanuel, you also make use of this.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think time is fast spent. So unfortunately, you'll not be taking any more questions, but we are glad that we're able to help quite a number of people today. And like I said, we'll try and have a part 2 because since a lot of people have a lot of questions, but we are very grateful to Ehikem, Entamoty, and Kafui. Unfortunately, Carrington had to drop off, but we are grateful for you guys joining the webinar today and sharing your wisdom and your insights when it comes to social media and how we can help a lot of businesses. Hopefully, I can get this team together again for part 2 for our customers. But yeah, thank you for your time. Thank everybody for joining today's session. And if you missed any of our webinars, you can just go to our YouTube channel. We upload all of them after the webinars, and then you can catch up. You can rewatch them if you want to remember some of the tools that were mentioned, some of the examples that were given, and we'll upload the video to YouTube. So you can feel free to search for it later on. You'll find the full recording on there as well. And once again, thank you for joining, and everybody should have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you very much.